we got to stop with begging for young players to go out there and show out in the playoffs. This is why I think the Kuminga discussion, quite frankly, for me, is over. Anybody, and you're welcome to call in, I'm not telling you, but if your opinion today is, I think the Warriors need more Jonathan Kuminga.
Oh, God.
No, they don't. No, they don't, because
it's not going to happen, Mark.
It's not going to happen, and B, it shouldn't, and C, there's a reason that it won't. Steve Kerr's not a buffoon, despite the scores of you who somehow think that after a decade plus of brilliance as a head coach.
I'm still not sold on Kerr.
Okay.
I'm a 5 titles and show me 5.
Exactly.
I'm a show me 5 guy.
Thanks, Dylan.
I've always thank you.
Till you light me up for 70 points a night.
Totally.
What have you really done? Thanks.
Hey, Kerr, till you give me 5 parades, then, Steve.
Come on, man. Like, they're watching, and they know. And look around the playoffs. You don't summon a 20-year-old in the playoffs to save you. You don't do that. They tried, and again, look at them at the beginning of the year. If the Warriors made a mistake this year that I want to point out, it's that they set out with too much reliance on young people. They wanted James Wiseman to have a role. They wanted Kuminga to have a big role. They upped Jordan Poole's role to be the heartbeat of the bench, and they wanted Moses Moody to have a role. Some of them do have a role, but Wiseman's not even on the team. Kuminga's got no role.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole is disappointing, let's be honest. They are too young for this moment.
But what choice did they have, Mark, in terms of
Not
what you're
they,
talking about?
Well,
because you've got Wiggins, JaMychal, Draymond, Clay, and Steph north of 30. You got Kevon kind of knocking on 30's door. He might be only 28, but he feels like he's 38. I'm going to put Kevon with the old guys.
Yes.
But then the rest of your roster, DiVincenzo is only, 26, 27?
To me, that's kind of the marker. If you look around the league,
guess.
when guys start really getting the picture, 25, 26, there's plenty of those guys in the playoffs. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson.
Right.
These guys are all 25, 26. That's 2 to 3 seasons from now.
Dante's
for
26.
Jordan Poole. Yeah. So he's fine.
But even at that, I mentioned 7 guys who are veteran, quote-unquote, people, and then you've got 20, 20, 20, 21, 20, 19. The rest of your roster is babies. So you had to play some of them. You had to see what you have with these youngsters.
No doubt. I'm not saying the Warriors necessarily had a great chance or a great other option where they ended up. Now, you could go backward in time 2-3 years ago.
Huey Lewis in the news.
And you could say, hey, should we have looked at maybe trading one of these draft picks or going in a different direction and giving the guys more veterans? I think we've been through that story. The Warriors thought that the dynasty might be at its end, and they were going to start preparing for what's next. And then the veterans reminded them that they still had a championship in them, and they've admitted that surprised them, and it changed course. And then what do you do in the offseason? GP2 wants money, and Otto Porter wants money, and all these people want money, and you're already writing a check for almost $500 million. What is it you're supposed to do? So I understand why they made the decision, but then when things develop the way they do, we can't be surprised that the veterans are running around pulling their hair out, or what's left of it, because of what 22 and 23-year-olds are doing on the floor. None of the other playoff teams are asking 22 and 23-year-olds to do anything for them. And so, yes, it would be better if they had veterans coming off of the bench. The previous Warrior championship runs have always had that. They tried a little bit. Let's turn Wiseman back into GP2. But, yeah, there's only so much they could do at a certain point of the season.
Right, and this year was never going to be about having veterans on the bench. You had Dante DiVincenzo, you added JaMychal Green, and that was going to be it. You brought back GP2, and if you look at Gary Payton II and what he's done in this series, not a lot, unfortunately. And
not a lot.
That, to me, is more of a conversation piece than Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga is a non-starter. I mentioned this to you. It might have been to JD and Whitey as well. If you were going to play Kuminga in this series at all in a meaningful way, it would have been game 1, late first quarter, early second quarter, and you would have put him out there and said, all right, Jonathan, you're going to be in this rotation. You're going to be the guy. But remember game 1, when they went to a big off the bench, It was J. Michael Green. It was not Jonathan Kuminga.
Yep.
And Green played pretty well, and then he got a start because Kevon wasn't playing well or he wasn't feeling well. So now you're in a spot where Kuminga's only going to get garbage time. Moses Moody is in the rotation. He's probably your ninth guy. So you really know going into this game, if you're Steve Kerr, it's not, can I find something with Kuminga? Is there a role for PBJ? All of that stuff has been solved. It's, these are my 9 guys. How can I deploy them in the right combinations, in the right matchups to make this thing work?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Kuminga is a non-starter and a non-finisher and a non-middler and a non-bencher. He's a non-player right now in this series. So
other than working for Waste Management.
Yeah, he's GT, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
Garbage time. Or recycling in the green bin. Shout out the green bin.
Always recycle.
Yeah.
888-957-9570. Grandpa Daddy's in Hayward on Willard and Dibs. Grandpa D, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen, man? Oh, a little under the weather with my 3-year-old, so I'm taking care of her.
Yeah.
I'm
Get ready for
it from the yard.
That's going to be every other week for the rest of your life.
Hey, I know, bro.
Man, they bring home everything, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, they're Petri dishes, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Man.
Will someone please tell me why, how can you get paid millions of dollars to do a job and you want to cry and whine about your job? When you get paid, you either get paid to sit on the bench or you get paid when your number's called. How can you just be like this? I don't get it.
Well, who specifically, hold on, who specifically are you talking about, Grandpa D?
Talking about Kuminga. I'm talking about Kuminga and Jordan Poole.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, some of this is, and Grandpa Daddy, thank you, and I hope you're feeling better. Some of this is stuff that we feel like we're hearing through the grapevine. I haven't seen with my own eyes Jonathan Kuminga cry, whine, complain. However, there have been enough reports about it, plus we can watch the constant kind of cajoling going on over there on the bench by
body language,
Iguodala and others. I'm not going to act like it's, not sort of natural. I want Jonathan Kuminga to be disappointed. But, yeah, if you're also now pushing in the other direction, if you're making yourself a story when you're not, then, yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem. Like, there's no room for that. Look, you mentioned JaMychal Green. Look at him. He was a non-player for months.
Yeah.
And then in game 1, they looked at him, or game 2, I guess it was, and like, brother, we need you tonight. And he's like, I got 3-pointers for you. Here you go.
Exactly.
You've got to be, that is just called professionalism. Your role, like, it's not always going to be what you want it to be. Very few people just go to work every day and have the exact role, but you have got to be ready, because on certain days, at least, they will ask you to do that role.
Right.
Unless, of course, you pout all the time when it's not.
And that's where we are with Jonathan Kuminga. And, he comes into the game even in garbage time. That would be an opportunity for you to show just how badly you want to play and to show the coaching staff what a big mistake they're making by not playing you the entire time that you're out there. But he hasn't played in these garbage time spots with that same veracity. Now, he did in game 3 a little bit more.
Yep.
He played with a little bit more heft, and he played with a little bit more interest. He had 10 points in that garbage time shift, but he obviously hasn't shown enough between the end of the year and where we are now to earn rotation spots, whereas Moses Moody, a guy who's about 3 months older than Jonathan Kuminga, to your point, it's like, hey, Moses, we need you in this role. Boom, I'm ready. And he's been a great rotational piece in this series.
Let's go real quick to Andy in Oakland. Andy, hey, you're on Willard and Dibs. What are you doing, Andy?
Gentlemen, how you doing today?
What's up?
Hey, Andy.
Awesome. Okay. Guys, I want to tell you why the Lakers have an edge in today's game in this series, and I'll break it down to you in very simple terms. Okay? LeBron James is not playing with a motivation. He's playing with a sense of desperation. This is his only and last chance to get a chip. And that's all I got to say. And when you got the greatest player with playing with that desperation, that motivation,
yeah, Andy, with all due respect, I don't agree, because I feel like everything you could say about LeBron in this case applies to Steph as well. nobody on the Warriors or the Lakers is looking at this and going, there's also next year. Nobody's doing that. We don't even know if Draymond Green's going to be on the team next year. And they're both at the height of their powers, seemingly, at least at this time. They're both playing great. 8 days ago, Steph Curry dropped 50 in a Game 7. And now we're like, I'm not sure if he's playing. He's playing fine, and he's plenty motivated. All right?